never seen that.
I love that.
Originally from Connecticut, so no, Connecticut in the U.S. And then I lived all over the world, and then lived in Minnesota, yeah. My parents always used to garden in France. So, okay, we're I don't know.
What that has been any minute.
That's right, that's a good way to go. Last time, I think you were caught by weather, right? I watched on the.
Oh yeah, So I had to leave the car and run home.
I was hoping today wasn't going to be like yesterday, right?
I was so worried. I thought I can't miss 2 months.
A new beautiful lady joined.
Sorry. Wait.
Today, I'm so excited. It boosts my mood.
Yeah.
What?
That's a really nice facility.
Very.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. Welcome everybody. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Settling in. We're going to get started. Thank you for braving the slushy mess outside and coming to join us today. My name is Jeremy Capone. I'm the wellness chef for Cancer Rehab and Survivorship and our Elixir Kitchen program. Joined as always by our amazing dietitian.
Joined as always by the amazing dietitian, but not last month.
No,
No, you
last
were
month I
there.
got stuck in the snow. But yeah.
You were on the phone.
I was on the phone. I was trying my best. Yes. So I'm really happy to be here in person this time. And would you like to introduce?
Absolutely. So we have a special class, and we have a special guest. This is Chef Amy Symington. The incredible. Yes. And I'm going to give you a little bit more of a formal introduction in a second, but just to give you some background as well. Chef Amy works closely with Gilda's Toronto, who is also here as well. So that's Cheryl in the back, representing Gilda's Club Toronto. Community Connections, this is where you are now. This is our third Thursday class. To give you some background, this is a class that we offer monthly, and it gives us an opportunity to sort of connect with some of our community partners, like Gilda's Toronto, to sort of highlight some of the resources that we offer and to show you some of the other programming that is available in the community if you are looking for more resources and programming. And Chef Amy has been so gracious with the time joining us today, and we are going to feature some delicious recipes from her own creations, from her own cookbook, which she'll talk about in a second. So thank you, Chef Amy.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I love it. I'm going to give you a quick introduction because I don't want to miss anything, and you're doing some incredible work. So Chef Amy, not only a chef, we actually went to school together
I was
at
gonna
Brown
say.
many
I
moons
was
ago.
gonna say.
Before, this has been such a lovely reunion.
Yeah.
We trapped Jeremy here for what,
I
13
love
I
it.
have still yet to find the exit.
get
Yeah.
to leave.
Yeah.
But before that,
Yeah.
that's when,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy was here. Amy is not only a incredible chef, you are working on your PhD right now, PhD candidate, and this is at U of T, correct? I'll ask you to talk a little bit more about the program. But it's in Nutritional Sciences at University of Toronto under the Faculty of Medicine. Amy also currently runs nutrition programming at Gilda's Toronto, like I mentioned. If those that are not familiar with Gilda's, been around for a long time, do amazing work, a not-for-profit cancer organization. And Amy's also the culinary nutrition specialist for Canada's Forward Food Team, where she trains chefs across Canada on how to implement Canada's food guide in large food operations like hospitals, long-term care facilities, schools, and shelters. And she works with the Toronto Veg Food Bank as a chef, nutrition consultant, culinary instructor. Amy is passionate about the practical application of nutritional science through the culinary arts and believes in the evidence-based health and environmental benefits of plant-forward diets. She has an award-winning and incredible cookbook. You have
Yes,
the whole
there we go.
I have my copy. called the Long Table Cookbook, which is a plant-based recipes for optimal health. And the proud mom of two healthy and amazing children.
Yes,
adorable
too.
kids.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
absolutely.
you.
I sorry for reading, but I didn't want to miss anything.
That's
Thank
okay.
you for all your amazing work, and I'm going to throw it over to you.
Yeah, amazing.
Stop talking. Yeah.
I'm just so excited to be here. As I was saying before, it's just really nice to do things in person. So thank you again for taking time out of your very busy schedules to cook with us today and talk a little bit more about cancer nutrition, and also to welcome Gilda's into your kitchen. So Gilda's, as Jerry mentioned, is a not-for-profit cancer organization. We provide social, emotional, and nutritional support to those who've been touched by cancer, and I have the absolute honor for the last, I don't know how many years now, over a decade, as their culinary nutrition program coordinator. So we do similar programming in terms of culinary nutrition, and I get to look after all of that. So yeah, and the cookbook, actually, all the author proceeds from this cookbook go to support Gilda's Club Greater Toronto and all the wonderful things that they do. So I always joke that I don't make any money off this cookbook, so all the author proceeds go to it. In addition to that, thank you. In addition to that, we have a couple other resources that we're going to cover today with our class that are free and downloadable and online on the Gilda's Club website. So myself and a team of experts, dietitians, oncologists, doctors, came up with a couple kind of easy community guides to cancer nutrition. So the first one we have is, these are both free, downloadable on Gilda's website. You can grab this one. This one is talks about what to consume for cancer prevention during treatment to prevent reoccurrence. And then this guy here goes into more detail about side effects and symptoms of cancer and cancer treatment, and then it has fun recipes that go along with it. So it's more of the practical application, which I'm all about. So those are free and online, and you can find them on our website.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. The photos, you were mentioning
right?
the photographer that did the photos for your book, which is stunning, also did the photos for both, or is it?
Both, yeah.
Both.
This is Darren Kemper, I love him, and then I also had a food stylist who was really lovely too. But yeah, so it's also beautiful, it's functional, and beautiful.
They feel great.
Yeah. And maybe one lucky audience member will go home with us today. So pay attention, we've got some skill challenging questions for you later. But yeah, in general, what we talk about at Gilda's Club is similar stuff to what Elixir does here. We follow all the cancer nutrition guidelines, so very plant forward, focusing on fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, and good quality plant-based protein. You will be getting, or you have already in your hands, a little handy handout with...
they're on the side if you
haven't, they're on the side there.
Those are the recipes we'll be.
With all of the wonderful recipes that we're going to be making today, again, following all the cancer nutrition guidelines. And then also taking into consideration, side effects and symptoms like constipation, fatigue, dry mouth, all that sort of stuff. We'll be talking a little bit about that today, as well as doing some Q&A.
Yes.
About some cancer nutrition topics.
We're gonna pick her brain while she's here.
Yeah. And so we don't have time to go through this entire handout, but there's lots of amazing information. This one's a little bit more consolidated than, say, the guide that I just showed you, but in general, again, at Gilda's, and I know you as well here at Elixir, again, just mainly focusing on foods of plant origin when we're talking about cancer nutrition, and we're aiming to, meet our nutritional needs through food, as opposed to, as best you can, as opposed to supplements, unless otherwise directed by your healthcare team and or a registered dietitian. Some other tips and tricks are kind of, again, in the handout if you want to have a peek in more detail. And I'm sure some of this you've already heard before, if you've attended any of these before, or if you've attended any of our nutrition showcases at Gilda's. Talking about the importance of physical activity, and then different types of foods to consume. Again, specifically focusing on the high fiber fruits and vegetables as much as possible. Anything else you want to add, or should we go over?
And the plant proteins. I think we're going to touch upon that in
Very
each
important.
of the recipes.
Yeah.
I know that we in January we talked about protein and fiber maxing, and that's a trend out there. But we're going to take it to the perspective of why it's important for cancer prevention and also for cancer treatment, and how difficult it is. Sometimes it doesn't have to be difficult, but if we pay attention to how we're cooking it and preparing it. So Amy's going to help us with that. And like I said, I wrote down questions. The questions come from our classes that we have. So I'm going to ask you as we go.
Hard-hitting questions.
Hard-hitting questions.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about, again, some more of the foods that we're utilizing and how they can benefit people who have certain side effects and symptoms. Yeah. Okay, so should we get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'll mention, if you have any questions throughout, please go ahead and ask. And those watching at home, hello to you as well. If you have any questions, just type them in the chat, and I'll relay them over to you.
Amazing. So on the menu, we have, we're going to be making my Caesar salad with smoked tempeh bacon. So we'll talk a little bit about plant-based protein there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and we'll be making my Caesar salad dressing, again, from the Long Table Cookbook. Then we'll turn it over to kind of a warm, satiating chowder, again from the Long Table Cookbook. It's an artichoke and sweet potato chowder. We're going to add some beans in there. We'll talk a little bit about beans. And then to top it all off, we're going to do my my tofu chocolate mousse, because we have to have a little sweet treat.
I've sampled this
multiple
times.
Oh,
It's very good.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. All right, so
take that.
Thank you so much.
I guess you don't need to read the recipe.
No, that's okay. Yeah, and so if you'd like to follow along with the recipes, you're more than welcome to. So we're going to start with the tempeh bacon. So tempeh, which is an amazing source of plant-based protein.
Who's heard of tempeh before?
Yeah. Anyone here
heard
of it or had it? Has anyone here tried it?
Yeah.
You've
Heard of it? And we've had one person try it. It is a fermented soybean. Yeah, so it is an incredible source of plant-based protein. For about 100 grams, it's about 20 grams of protein.
Yeah,
probably our highest, right?
It is. Yeah, of
because
course.
it's really cool looking.
Yeah. You can kind of see
cool.
it comes in kind of blocks like this. And again, it's fermented, but you can use it for so many different things. Today we're going to use it for a bacon. So we're going to be using maple syrup, a little bit of tamari, and some smoked paprika to build kind of that smoky, sweet, umami flavor that we get from bacon. But soy, of course, is a good source of protein. And yeah, it's if you've never used it before, you need to flavor it. I always say that people who don't like tofu or don't like tempeh maybe haven't been taught how to cook it properly. It's just like flour. You wouldn't just take a mouthful of flour. You would add flavors to it. So
that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, please
I like
do.
that. Yeah.
Please do. So you can crumble this. You can slice this. For what we're going to do, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of got a crumbly texture. This is a really great ground beef replacement.
Zoom into your hands there.
There we go. There it is. I use it for a ground beef replacement as well, so you can crumble it.
And different from like a firm tofu in terms of you can actually see the soybeans.
Exactly.
Right? And
and it makes it a little bit more the protein a little more bioavailable with the fermentation process as well. And I'm sure you've talked about gut health here a lot.
Yeah, we actually did a segment on fermentation, prebiotics, and probiotics, which was a huge. I do a lot of learning with this class too, and that was my first time trying tempeh because Jeremy created a recipe in that class with tempeh, and it was delish. So I'm looking forward to trying this.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So again, we're wanting to build flavor. Otherwise, it's gonna be pretty bland. So we've got our maple syrup.
Any questions? Yes.
Yes. So I know the maple syrup has the sugar. Yes. Sometimes, like I was tested like a pre-diabetic. I was very worried about this. Yeah.
For the maple syrup.
The sugar
Yeah.
content.
I mean, you can season it with whatever.
Yeah,
really.
it doesn't have to be
Right.
maple. This one we're going for like the sweet and smoky maple bacon.
Yeah.
But you could absolutely omit the maple syrup or just use it sparingly.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
perfect
add your
preference.
favorite seasoning. I think when we did it, I can't remember, but it may have just been like some dried herbs and
It was super tasty. That's all
I
I
can't remember.
Love that.
But
Super
Those are bringing endorsements.
again,
Super
like
tasty tempeh.
tofu, and like Amy mentioned,
Yeah.
you treat this sort of as your very neutral base because there really isn't much flavor, and you can add whatever marinades,
Exactly.
dressings, seasonings that you want.
So with the ground beef replacement, I'll usually use like cumin, coriander,
just
soy
gonna-
sauce. And if you're using it in say like as a bolognese, I'll add in some dried basil. Depending on what you're making, that's what you would add in terms of flavors. But as like a nice little base, and then you could do like a 1-to-1 swap in any recipe that utilizes ground beef. So tacos or shepherd's pie. It's a great replacement. And or if you're wanting to just reduce your meat consumption, your red meat consumption, you could do like a half and half or
Yeah.
That's it.
2/3 or however you want to.
I love actually that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So yes,
So if
question.
you're diabetic, I mean, the maple syrup's okay because it's not refined. It's not a refined,
So-
right? It's not. I mean, it's sugar, but it's not.
So, but so maybe what I'll add to that is that the tempeh is high in protein. It's one of the high plant proteins. It also has fiber. So when you have the protein and the fiber, and then you're just using a little bit of maple syrup, it's okay because it's going to slow down the process of digestion, so you don't have to worry about your blood sugar going sky high. So using it sparingly, using it in small amounts is totally fine, or you can omit it if you want. But
What about
The addition of
molasses versus maple syrup?
So different applications, depending on what you're doing. You could throw a little molasses in there, that'd give it a nice kick, but it would change the flavor profile completely. But in terms of spiking blood sugar levels, I feel like maple syrup does spike them a little bit higher than say molasses, but
it still
just
fits
depends.
under that sugar. So
Exactly. So just depends on the application. That like pancakes, I would use a little bit of molasses for sweetener. And then,
interesting.
yeah, and then okay. So we've got our tempeh bacon here. We're gonna put it into the oven. Jeremy's on camera duty today.
I
love
know.
it. Yay! That's great. We want to make sure that we get all that sauce. Keep that in there. It's gonna help.
I love that.
That tempeh is gonna suck up all that flavor.
So I see you spread it out. Is
Yeah.
that the
Yes.
best way to do it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you don't want it too crowded. You don't want it to boil.
Okay.
So giving it a little bit of space so that there's the ability for it to crisp up just a little bit.
Now caramelized.
We have a question.
Nice.
Yes.
What about honey oven?
What about honey? From the perspective of using honey in the dish?
Honey or maple syrup, are they interchangeable or are they?
Again, it depends on the dish, but I would say they're interchangeable. Like a lot of recipes that call for honey use maple syrup because I'm a Canadian gal. I like the profile of maple syrup.
My question was also related to honey. Like, funny enough, I was going to say, isn't it like risky to cook the honey in like high heat in the oven or something? I heard like honey interacting with high heat can actually have more like cancerogenic effects. So
I have not read any literature that indicates that that's the case. I know we don't want to, with oils, we don't want to be cooking them at a really, really high heat so they reach their smoke point. That's one thing, but I haven't heard that with honey. So.
Yeah. I would say just any sugar, whether it's honey, molasses, maple syrup, it will burn if you cook it too long.
Yeah.
Those are sugar. So that's something I think we
Yeah.
need caution as well. And
Definitely.
even with something like this, we're cooking it at 400 for how long?
Yeah, it's like 15 to 18 minutes.
And
It's,
keep an eye, maybe keep an eye on that
Definitely.
range because you don't want it to burn if it goes too long.
Exactly.
And
through the magic of television.
Yes.
We created.
There was 2 sheets, and I think I cleared off one of them myself.
Oh,
They're
did you
they're
really?
so good. And for me, again, I've used tempeh a few times. I'm not as familiar with it in terms of introducing it into our recipes. For those that might not be as familiar with how to use plant-based proteins, what do you feel like is a good suggestion to slowly integrate that in, or like a couple tips to make it a little more sustainable as part of the
Yeah, that's a great question. So I always talk about beans as being kind of a good addition to things. You can throw them in soups and stews and curries and things like that. And they kind of absorb all the sauce, and they're affordable. High good source of protein, good source of fiber. Also Canadian. Yeah, so start with beans. I always start with beans, or adding them into sauces too. So tomato sauce, you could blend some of the red lentils into it, or again soups like dals are a good kind of starting point there. And then if you want to get a little bit more adventurous, then going towards more soy-based stuff, so edamame, miso, tempeh, soy, like tofu in particular. Tofu is just beyond versatile. It's so versatile in terms of what you can do with it. Grating it, using it again in tacos or salads. There's just the options are endless.
Yeah, and also what stood out to me was when you talk about using it as a replacement for ground beef or with the ground beef. So that's a nice gateway.
Yeah, and then you can slowly maybe increase the tempeh and reduce the ground beef as well. Yeah,
especially if you're feeding family, right? Not that I don't want to sneak food in to people. Jeremy's telling me we don't want to sneak food in, but it is a good way even to fool yourself a little bit. You need to fool yourself.
Most definitely. We actually just worked on a project with GBC and the Forward Food Program that I work with a long-term care facility, and we did exactly that. We used this ground beef replacement recipe that I developed with some of their recipes, and they did like a 50-50, and the patrons they loved it. They thought it was better than the original. Which I think is a ringing endorsement. Okay, with that said, we're gonna keep moving.
GBC, George Brown
College.
Right?
Yes, sorry, yes. It's our alma mater.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the dressing now. So this is my Caesar salad dressing. Super easy. Also incorporates healthy proteins and fats. We've got lemon juice, lemon zest, some Dijon mustard, and then to thicken the dressing, I've got some chia seeds here. Flax seeds also work. Chia seeds in particular are a great source of plant-based protein. Complete protein, contain all the non-essential amino acids that our body requires. And then we add a little bit of nutritional yeast to it, which is, if you've never seen or tasted nutritional yeast before, it's like a flaky, kind of cheesy powder that's really rich in B vitamins in particular. It's also a complete source of plant-based protein as well, which is amazing. But the B12 in particular is something that I oftentimes get asked about.
And that was one of my questions.
Perfect segue.
Because we know that when you go more plant-based, having more vegetarian meals, also getting your treatment, sometimes vitamins B12 is a concern. And as we get older, and I can speak to this, those of us over 50 can't absorb iron from not iron, but vitamin B12 that easily from food. So my question was, how do you improve the vitamin B12 in the food for people who are vegetarian? Nutritional yeast is probably the biggest go-to.
It's a good one. So while we're doing, I'm just going to mix all the ingredients in here while I talk about nutritional yeast and B12. So B12 can be found in things like nutritional yeast. It doesn't always have to come from like newfangled vegan products, though. You can get it if you consume any sort of plant-based milks in Canada. They have to be fortified with B12. So I always recommend unsweetened soy being my choice for plant-based milks, because it contains the same amount of protein as cow's milk. It's 8 grams per cup. But then it's also fortified with B12, so that's a good source. It's fortified milk alternatives, and then the obviously the nutritional yeast. Like 1 tablespoon of this can be upwards to like 400% of your needs. There's a lot of B12 in one tablespoon.
And it's easy to store.
Yes.
And it's not expensive.
No.
And it has a kind of a cheese.
Yeah, it's got like a cheesy sort of. It has a little bit of that sort of savory, umami Has anyone tried nutritional yeast?
I have.
before?
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
we can
okay.
have
Right.
So we'll see.
I did
Let's
not.
see
I
what
tried a
happens today.
recipe
Yeah.
with it,
Yeah.
and because I'm lactose,
Yes.
so I tried cooking with making.
Yes.
I think it was macaroni and cheese. I tried.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not for
no,
you.
Not for you.
Not for
That's
you.
okay. Sometimes I find it does have a flavor, and if you use too
Mhm.
much of it, it can be very predominant.
Mhm.
It's one of those things you want to, use a little bit just underlying to give that like nutty, cheesy flavor. So I'm excited to see you try it
Yeah.
today and
Yeah.
see if it's not super.
Oh,
Forward in
yes,
terms of flavor.
yeah. So I'm so sorry. That was my English is not my first language.
It's okay.
But let's confirm what you said. So vitamin B12 is fortified in fortified milk or fortified soy milk.
In plant-based, we're just talking about plant-based
Yeah.
alternatives
So cashew.
in general. Yeah, cashew milk, oat milk, soy milk.
So non-dairy milk.
Yeah,
Oh,
non-dairy
non-dairy
milk.
milk.
Yeah, the non-dairy milk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's fortified.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm just shaking it up. This is my favorite technique for dressings. Just throw it in a mason jar, shake it up.
What's nice about this, even if you have like a little Tupperware, use what you want now, but then
Yeah.
you can store, right? The rest, that's
Okay, we'll season it with a little bit of salt too. Yeah, exactly. You can toss it in the fridge and then use it as needed. Okay, a little pinch of salt there. Thank you, sir. I'm not used to having this many people.
Is this not part of one of the recipes at George Brown College now?
Oh,
No,
really?
Your Caesar
Yeah,
dressing?
yeah, it's on
It's
there.
so good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's also great because we're not using any raw eggs or any things that are a concern if people have immunosuppression.
Thank
so
you for
it
that.
helps
Yeah.
for that too.
This traditional Caesar dressing tends to have egg
Yeah.
yolks in
Raw
it.
egg.
Yeah, and so it adds. You can see the color is kind of a yellow.
You're using soy milk. What other milk can you use that won't change the flavor?
Oh gosh, I think a cashew milk would
Would
be
be
really
okay?
would be okay as well. Yeah.
Look for the unsweetened
Yeah,
versions because
Yeah.
then they won't have usually any extra flavors.
That's a great point. So anytime you're using any sort of plant-based milk, make sure that it's unsweetened. Then you can be in control of your sugars. But then also for applications like this, we don't want it to taste like vanilla, and we don't want it to be sweet, right? That would change the dressing. That wouldn't be something that
Just use
we're
lactose-free
aiming
milk.
for in terms of flavor.
Lactose-free milk.
Yeah.
Could you use lactose-free milk if it wasn't? Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
most definitely. Okay, and so next we have an array of different leafy greens, which is on the list of things to consume every day. I always say leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, so things like kale, cauliflower, cabbage, arugula, and then red and orange vegetables are things that we want to try to include every single day as much as possible. And so we've got our leafy greens here. We've got some romaine and some kale. Looks beautiful, nice and crunch. And then we've got all the fiber, antioxidants, and micronutrients. And then
So I like how you have the romaine, which is the traditional, but you added kale.
Sure.
So we're kind of zhuzhing it up.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, any leafy green will work for this. I do like the crunch of the romaine and then the nutritional benefits of the kale.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll add some more romaine to it. I do love the crunch.
Yeah, showcase your
Nice skill.
Yes.
We should have, we didn't think of having a next skill, what do you call it?
Yeah, like a little
Contest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
course.
no,
Oh,
contest. Yeah. I'm having fun today.
Yeah, I love it.
2 chefs in the kitchen.
Little competition.
Little competition. Like the Olympics, right? The culinary
Oh,
Olympics.
culinary Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the salad here. We're gonna add the dressing, and then we'll plate it.
Yeah, I think you can figure it out.
Thank you.
I like the option, the bacon option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's,
And it
Again.
makes it more inclusive in terms of people.
This is so good.
It's really salad the bacon.
So if you like that contrast, I am very big on like sweet savory. I love
Yeah.
sweet and savory. That is what you get from this. And if tempeh or just soy products in general are new to you, I
Yeah.
think, like Amy mentioned it, dress it well
Yes.
so it's tasty, and I think it'll be a regular part, easily a regular part.
Yeah. You could also do this with tofu too. So I do find the tempeh is a little chewy, which it adds a nice texture. But if that's not your thing, Tofu will work just as well. You can take, you can just cut it thin and then do the exact same thing that we've done here.
Yeah.
See, seeing that we have some speech language pathologists in the class, I guess chewy might be something.
Yeah, texture. We gotta take that into consideration.
So
For sure. Most definitely. Okay.
Looking forward to trying that.
Yay! Oh my gosh, this smells so good.
It smells like
Yeah.
a Caesar salad.
Yeah.
It smells amazing. We should have had people
Oh,
try.
did it cut?
It's
videos
just,
on.
yes, not too screen.
Technical difficulties.
Right.
Oh,
We'll
it's
get
not
you back.
always the way.
Oh, so we can't. Well, you can smell it.
Which
The
is
people
so
at
nice.
home.
I always make a smell-o-vision joke. 'Cause I do a lot of
Smell-o-vision.
virtual cooking and a lot of virtual programming, but today you get to actually enjoy and
It
smell
says
everything.
control.
So you
usually.
press
control
control
on
and
the
you
Oh.
need to do the 3.
To unlock.
Okay, you continue.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
I'll keep working. You fix that.
People at home, you're okay. It's just we're having some technical difficulties here with
I
our
can also
audience.
just. So this is So
Oh.
I plated the salad.
Let me get the. Oh no, because we can still do it for here. I
Perfect.
think.
And then I'm going to be topping it with a little bit of what I call like plant-based Parmesan. So this is half nutritional yeast, half hemp seeds. You could also use ground blanched almonds. Works really well too. Good sources of protein and healthy fats. Hemp seeds in particular, again, are an omega-3 fatty acid.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different functional foods that we want to be consuming, especially for cancer nutrition. Omega-3 fatty acids are one of them in particular. Good for so many different things, but immune support and immune function is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's something that's we want to focus on for cancer nutrition. So so just equal parts nutritional yeast and hemp seeds, or ground blanched almonds if you don't have a nut allergy, and then a little pinch of salt. So that's the Parmesan that's going to go on top.
And can you make a batch of that and store it?
Yes, 100%. I actually will do it in a big mason jar,
Okay.
and then I don't even need to measure it. You can just see half and half, and then I put a big old pinch of salt, and then I shake it, and I keep it in my fridge, and I put it on popcorn, I put it on pasta,
Ooh.
and it gives
On
a
popcorn.
yeah, and it
Okay.
gives like
I'm
a
gonna try that.
boost, like an extra boost of like calories and protein when needed, and it's just like a good flavor.
And you're getting your.
Exactly. Yeah, all the things. Okay.
Oh, we have a question. Yeah, I have a question.
Do you ever use tamari instead of salt with
Yep.
it? Or?
Yeah, tamari works really well, and soy sauce would be good too if you're not into tamari. But if you're gluten free, tamari is a great option. Feel free to do that. Yeah.
This has tamari. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then, in terms of toppings, we've got the Parmesan. I'm doing some capers for a little salty kick.
The recipe doesn't say tamari, but
The tempeh bacon uses a bit of
all the
tamari, I
tempeh
think,
bacon.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
oh, there
sorry.
it is. Low
Wasn't
sodium
addressing.
tamari.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in the
His name.
I'm
I
testing.
That's okay.
can't even follow my
You
own
don't
recipe.
even.
I
Yeah,
know,
you
I
don't
know.
even need-
Jared doesn't follow recipes, so it's
No.
very interesting that you follow your
There are
recipes.
different chefs that
Yes.
follow recipes, and chefs that just measure with their heart. I generally just measure with my heart, but sometimes it's good.
It's okay. We have
If you've
different
taken any
types
of our
of
classes,
dietitians.
you will realize we either don't own measuring cups and spoons, or just choose not to use them.
I love it. Okay, and then I made some homemade croutons here. This is just from bread that was going to go bad. Of course, if you have any sort of mouth sores or lesions and that sort of stuff, you would leave the croutons out. That wouldn't be a nice addition. But using a whole grain bread, especially a seedy one, is another source of plant-based protein.
So we're getting protein, lots of vitamin B12. We've got some omega-3 fatty acids with the chia seeds and the hemp parts. Loads of fiber. So at this point, I wouldn't even worry about the little bit of maple syrup you use to make the.
Oh
the
yeah,
ba-
we need to put the bacon on too.
Yeah.
Should we just
Jeremy's gonna share the bacon.
maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, this is
Look
a
how
replacement
pretty.
for bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can crumble it too if you wanted to crumble it. I like the way it looks with the
Yeah,
little
the
pieces.
strips.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's nice. But you could crumble it, and then I've actually used it for tacos. Like you could make a tempeh chorizo taco, and then use things like cayenne and other spices to give that oomph of flavor without added salt, sugar, or unhealthy fats. So there, first recipe down.
Really good.
Yay! Okay, so let's
Beautiful.
start. We'll start on the next one. We'll clear in.
We start
Clear
talking.
out
Yes.
and-
We're talking
on
too
to the
much.
next
No,
one.
no,
So
you talk.
it's okay. We've got lots of
Buy your
information
time.
that we
You
want to
talk.
cover.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the questions too. That's great. I like that. So the next recipe we're going to do is the artichoke and oyster mushroom sweet potato chowder. This is one of my favorite recipes. I love it so much.
I love
And it's actually a take on a chowder that my dad used to make. Yeah, he used to make, it was a clam chowder, but this one we're using oyster mushrooms instead. And then this is coming from my cookbook, the Long Table Cookbook. And we've added to that recipe, so we're going to be adding some chickpeas, just to give again an oomph of protein as well. Yeah, and so in terms of, oomph of protein.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
steal a few.
I love
We
it.
often make up our own words.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
that's great. I always say when I'm about to blend something, I'll say we'll put it in the blender to zhuzh it up, and I'm like, yes, that is a proper culinary term.
There we go.
Okay, so in terms of our mise en place, we have some oyster mushrooms. These are my absolute favorite. Usually, any sort of chowder is either potato based and seafood, or just potato based. So the oyster mushrooms are kind of giving that seafood-esque texture, and how we utilize them or how we prepare them is we just kind of give them a little tear, and they simulate kind of a clam-like texture. Again, for those people who maybe are allergic to seafood or are not into seafood, this is a great replacement for that. And then of course we have our mirepoix. We've got onions, celery, and carrots. And then we've what I like to refer to as flavor country, which is thyme and garlic. Again, something that I highly, if you can tolerate it, obviously if people have taste aversions, you'll take and add what you want in terms of herbs and spices. But in this particular case, we're using thyme and garlic. If you wanted it to be more bland, you obviously remove the thyme. Completely depends on where you're at. But I find overall, if you can handle a little bit of spice, that this is a really good one, especially when you're going through treatment. It's comforting, it's cozy. We have the extra protein in there. Okay. And then after that, we're going to be adding a little bit of.
Can I start adding this?
Yes, please. Yeah. Yep. The mirepoix you could go to. So it's hard for me to let someone else. He's got it under control.
It's not me over there.
Yeah.
So
I'm usually just a one-woman show, so it's so nice to have a registered dietitian and another chef with me. And then we're going to add an orange vegetable. I talked about it being one of the things that you maybe want to try to include every day. Good source of beta carotene. And then we'll add in some artichokes, which are a good source of inulin fiber.
Inulin fiber, which is like a prebiotic. Which is, I'm not going to get into the prebiotics, but we did do a segment on it.
Yeah.
So I think it was November. You can see our
Check it out.
demo
Feeds
from that.
feeds the beneficial bacteria that already exists in the gut. So we're just going to saute those out until fragrant.
And the mushrooms can go in after?
Yeah, so just saute the mirepoix out a little bit, and then once you start to smell like kind of the garlic and the thyme, you can then add the mushrooms.
So I have a question for the audience, and I know we want to do the cookbook. I wonder could this be the question?
Yeah, we can do the question.
Okay. Yeah.
First
Just
giveaway.
because just because we've talked a lot about the colorful fruits and vegetables, right? And Amy talks about getting your orange ones, and we talked about in the Caesar salad, in the salad we talked about the greens, the different colored greens, and how it's important to get red and stuff. So who knows why we encourage color? Is it, okay.
Why do we eat rainbow?
I didn't even finish the question. Okay, yes.
Why do we eat the rainbow? Why do we eat all sorts of
I'm
colors?
sorry, I'm super. So eating like a rainbow is what I was taught in the wellspring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also they also told us that not a single food in the world can just be nutritious enough to make you healthy. You need to have the across the board.
Exactly.
Across the board.
Eat kale breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not. I mean, that's not. Kale is good for you, but it's not good because of your overall health.
Yeah. Do you know why we want you to have the colors? Do you know what's in it?
Well, there's different vitamins.
Different vitamins.
Each
Yeah.
color group you'll get a bet, they'll have what, C or D or E, what, so it gives you a whole cross section of all the vitamins that you need.
Yeah, vitamins and minerals. And then there's one other thing that, yes?
Beta carotene?
Beta carotene, yeah. So we mentioned, so what is beta carotene? For eyes, yeah, it's good for your eyes. Phytonutrients. Yeah. So, yay. So the answer was phytonutrients. That was a big one. I was going to accept, just the color is connected to the phytonutrient, which is different than the vitamins and minerals, and they can help reduce they can block cancer-producing substances. So the orange, the beta carotene is the phytonutrient in the orange vegetable. In the green, we have indoles. No, do we have indoles in there? Glycosylinates.
Yeah, I think.
Whoa.
And then for reds, we have things like
Lycopene and anthracite. So that's more purple than
but also included. Yeah.
But you don't have to learn those big words. That's why we just say get the color. Yeah. So Hueen gets the book.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants. Whatever you
Your
want.
choice of book.
Whatever.
So I will say those two are free and online.
So hint.
And then
I'll take this one. I take this one. I'm thrilled.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, you didn't realize you'd be getting a
Oh,
prize.
because I.
Share the information. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys can smell that happening.
Yeah.
So great to be doing this in person.
What I'll mention too is this is a little tip. If you use mirepoix often, so that's the sort of combination that Amy talked about, all of these aromatics, you can do, like if your knife skills aren't that great and you're not super comfortable with the knife, you can just chuck big chunks of it into a food processor. It doesn't have to be like, we're not judging your
Yes,
skills.
so get it into you, no matter
Right?
how, whatever.
Yeah,
However.
so use a food processor, make a big batch. You can throw that into like a freezer bag and then keep it in the freezer.
I love that tip.
And then next time you want to make soup, stew, whatever it is, you have a little bit of that prep already done. That's going to make your cook time much quicker.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
So-
I love that tip.
So what is a mirepoix?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's onions, celery, and carrots.
Carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's your
And
classic, your French version, and then you have an Italian version, Spanish version. So you have you can have garlic in there, you can have chilies in there. So depending on.
Oh, so it varies.
Yeah, it would be like sofrito is like the Italian
Sofrito?
version of.
Okay. Oh, we're really getting the
Getting
closure.
an
Yeah,
education.
I love
And
it.
Sure.
maybe a
Yes.
question. Yeah.
What did you, and if you did, what did you put in the pan before you started to saute?
Good question. So we've added just a little bit of olive oil. You can use olive oil, grapeseed oil, any veg-based oil. It's good. I know Amy mentioned the smoke point before. I think it's something that comes up often in our class. Different oils will have different smoke point. It's essentially at the point at which it starts to burn. We do not want our oils to burn.
No. They do. Start again.
Start again. Let it cool.
Yeah.
Clean it out. Start again.
Yeah.
Your oils, if you're using high heat, we're not using high heat here, but if you are using high heat, grapeseed oil, avocado oil is another one. Even canola oil can take a little bit more heat. Most of your I always say most of your general run-of-the-mill olive oils will take a pretty medium to medium high heat, but I think your indicator is always smoking. If it's smoking, just start again.
You've hit the smoke point.
Yeah.
Olive oil is great too for salad dressings. I generally will save it for that, especially if you have a nicer olive oil.
Yeah.
I'll save it for as a finishing oil.
Are you okay with this, Chef?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Right.
Approved.
Mushrooms in.
Mushrooms in.
Beautiful.
My
I love these
goodness.
oyster mushrooms.
Yeah.
You can use other mushrooms, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure. If you can use any mushrooms, to be honest. Cremini, white button, using a wide variety of mushrooms is also great as well. Yeah.
The mushrooms have wonderful nutrients in them too, and I guess at this point that you can also find now the vitamin D enhanced
Yes.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
So in the winter here in Canada, we want to up our vitamin D. That's one way we could also do it.
And it's literally just the mushrooms that are exposed to UV.
Exactly. Isn't that
rays.
cool?
Okay.
Just
Sweet potato.
Get
sorry,
her in
we're
there.
talking too much.
Any potato, sweet potato, I guess. Again,
Yeah,
sticking
any
in that
purple
chowder.
potato, whatever you wanted to do. For for this one, it calls for both white and sweet potato. I personally like just a sweet potato in this, but if you're wanting a traditional chowder, white potato is what's generally used.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Liquid.
And then we'll do some stock.
Right. So this is where, again, use veg stock, chicken stock if you have or whatever. We're going more plant-based, so we're going for veg stock.
Yeah.
One thing I always say as well is that no one's expecting to make 2-3 hour stock from scratch every single time. If you want to, amazing.
Yeah.
But they have like very convenient products that you can utilize as well. We have like no sodium, low sodium stocks.
Yeah.
I'm sure even with just water to start as a liquid.
Yep. You can
There's
use
so much
water
flavor.
as well. One of my tips that I often provide while I'm prepping is keeping all the scraps. So scraps of the carrots, scraps of the celery, the onions, even the onion skins if they're clean and unblemished, garlic skins if they're clean and unblemished, and then I will throw all of that into a pot and then fill it with water, bring it to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and then I'll just let it simmer for about a half hour. You can throw a bay leaf in there, you can throw some peppercorns, a thyme stem, a basil stem, and then you have your own homemade stock. Obviously strain it and then season it as needed, and then you have your own homemade stock. And if you're not going to make stock right then, you can put all of that in a resealable bag in the freezer for a day when you do want to make stock. And it's free, low sodium, and nutrient dense.
And I'm assuming that's in your books.
It is in the book.
There you go.
Okay. It talks about how to make your own homemade stock.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, and so in the Long Table book. It's
In the long table. Yep.
Was there a question?
Yes. I have a question if you can share some information about the use of salt and the types of salt that you like to use in this type
Yeah,
of
that's a great question I get regularly.
Yes.
So repeat the question.
Oh, yes.
Salt.
Types of salt.
Types of salt. Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of if we're talking sodium content, salt is salt is salt is salt. And it just whatever you happen to have on hand. I oftentimes will use the iodized salt because it adds iodine to whatever you're cooking. And if you're not eating, if you don't live on the coast and eat a lot of seafood, you're not necessarily eating as much iodine. So that's generally the one that I go with in terms of cooking. If I'm garnishing something like a little flaky sea salt, I'll use like a Malden, like a fancy salt. I'll save that for those sorts of situations. But in terms of nutritional advantages, salt is salt is salt.
Salt is salt. Yeah. So it's still the same amount of sodium in it.
Same. For me, I like a textured salt, so I would lean towards a kosher, but that's just personal preference. And I think to Amy's point, go with what you enjoy. I like to have that feel so that I sort of get a better sense of maybe how much I'm adding. So I just like a kosher salt, but again.
And then price point. Right?
Yeah.
So we're adding coconut milk to add a little bit of richness.
I love this.
So this is in lieu of cream, but use whatever you prefer. But yeah, adds like that creaminess that chowders generally have.
Can I have a question? So the thing you put into is the coconut milk.
That's correct.
I see it is crunchy. What is
It's not
inside?
smooth.
Oh, that's just the when you open up a can of coconut milk, the
Oh.
solids will, the fat will settle at the top.
Yeah.
As I stir it, it'll sort of dissipate.
Yeah, and then we'll put in some chickpeas.
You have keen eyes here.
Yeah, I love it. I love the questions. And then we're going to add some chickpeas. You could use white beans as well.
Yeah.
Any beans, honestly. I wouldn't put black beans in here. The profile is not, it wouldn't be great. But lentils would also work. But yeah, white
Let me show
beans,
you the
chickpeas.
you can see without spilling it, tilting it.
Oh.
You have like the chowder, that sort of chowder feel. Yeah, with the oyster mushrooms.
Lovely.
Amazing.
And then we're just going to bring this to a simmer. And then we'll season as we see fit. So salt and pepper. And then garnish with a little bit of parsley. You can serve it with some, multigrain, whole grain bread of your choice. Yep, there she is. Love it.
So we talked a little bit about getting more plant protein in.
Yes.
But the question I also asked Amy is like sometimes people say they don't tolerate beans that well. That they get a bit more gassy or digestive issues. So how do you approach that with your class?
Yeah, in terms of
Or your people?
in terms of cooking tips that I provide. So if you are cooking them from scratch or from dry, making sure that you're soaking them for at least 2 days in advance and then swapping out the water in between those days. They're so much more affordable if you are buying them from dry. So that's one tip. And then while you're soaking them, you can add a little bit of baking soda to it.
Oh, baking soda.
Or seaweed, and that helps to break down the complex carbohydrates that make it a little bit easier to digest. You can also do that during the cooking process as well, and that helps to alleviate some of the side effects of eating beans. If you're using the canned, same sort of thing. You would want to drain the liquid, rinse thoroughly, and then you can also cook them with a little bit of baking soda. I'm not talking baking soda so you can taste it. It's just enough to help, again, break down the complex carbohydrates, so it makes it a little easier to digest and tolerate. And then if you're just brand spanking new to introducing beans in your diet, we always suggest going low and slow. So include a little bit more, maybe in a chowder or in a soup or a stew, and then slowly, as you gain tolerance to that amount, then just increase the amount that you're utilizing. And they can be used in everything. Like, it doesn't have to be savory. It could also be sweet, like black bean brownies exist for a reason.
Black bean brownies. Is that in any of your books?
That one's not, but there is a chickpea blondie. And they're good.
Blondie.
Yeah, reading endorsement there. Yeah, they're delicious. And adds like a nice chewy, almost fudgy texture to it. In the Long Table Cookbook, there's a plant-based like chickpea blondies. So using chickpeas as the base of a blondie
Pretty
dessert.
cool.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. So we have chickpeas in that one. Yep. And then we'll give a little squirt of lemon. I don't know if you put lemon in that one, but I'm going to put a little bit of lemon on top. You did. Okay. No. Perfect. So again, using things like citrus, herbs, spices, fresh herbs, vinegars to give an oomph of flavor without added salt, sugar, or unhealthy fats is what I turn to first, and then I'll go to the salt afterwards. So we're going to put a little squirt of lemon juice, and I'd like to add the lemon and the citrus at the very end to help retain the vitamin C. Because if you're heating it and cooking the lemon juice or any citrus, some of the vitamin C will be lost. And then it also helps for eating beans. To help with the bioavailability of the iron that's present in the beans, it helps to absorb the vitamin C content, and the lemon helps to absorb more of that iron.
Okay. We have some power couples. Jeremy and I call it our power couple. When you have the vitamin C rich food and the plant proteins that have iron, which are harder to digest, right? So it's one of our favorite power couples.
You can zoom in on this one. You might have to do a little tilt on that.
Yeah. And we've topped it with parsley. You could do some fresh thyme as well.
I love this. And again, I think you mentioned off the top, like really nice sort of slush weather comfort
food.
Food.
It's perfect for today. It's really perfect for today. Okay, amazing.
Awesome.
Done. Thank you. Okay, on to the next one. Now we're on to dessert.
Now everyone's ears are pricked.
Yeah. And this is one of my absolute favorite recipes to make. It's super easy, minimal ingredients, and it tastes like decadence. It's very impressive. It's a dessert that I oftentimes will make it ahead.
Oh, you can make it ahead.
Throw it in the fridge.
That.
You can have it. Sometimes have it for breakfast or like a snack. It's high protein. So the main ingredients in it are, which we'll see in just a second, are tofu, chocolate, there we go, and then a little bit of coconut oil to help it set. Underneath me, yeah.
There's a fridge underneath here.
Yes.
Yeah.
With avocado. That would be good.
Oh my gosh, you do. So in my book, I love it. I have a recipe similar to that in my cookbook. That is just avocado. Yeah. So great. You can even put it in the fridge, a little grab and go, add some fruit, add some granola to it. So again, super simple recipe. We're just tofu, a little bit of maple syrup, some coconut oil to help it set a little bit. And Jeremy has just thrown the chocolate chips in the microwave, so we're melting those.
How else can you melt the chocolate?
Yeah. Great question. You can also use a double boiler if you have one of those, or if you don't even have one of those and you just have a bowl, like a metal bowl, you can put it over boiling water and then whisk it. We just want to make sure that the chocolate is completely melted, not burnt, obviously, and we don't want to get any water in it. So if if you're not into the double boiler situation, microwave is a very useful tool in that case. And really, we're just putting everything into the blender, zhuzhing it up.
Next is how do you spell zhuzhing?
Is this an English word?
No.
I think
it
we
is
made
a
it
made
up.
up Amy
It's an Amy word.
It's a technical culinary term that I made up. But yeah, it's just essentially blending until smooth. And then again, you can again, make this ahead of time, put it into say like a
Coconut oil.
Yeah.
The coconut oil, if you haven't used before, this, I know Amy mentioned to me as well, this really helps to give it a nice texture because it's solid.
And then you get all the way up to like extra firm, which you would use that in a completely different application. Ripping off pieces, dredging it in say cornstarch, and then giving like a low, shallow saute, and then tossing it in say like a curry sauce or something like that. So the different textures of tofu can be utilized in so many different ways.
Okay.
And maybe not right now, because I know you want to blend it, but it comes up, right? I know that it's come up with your group too. So maybe we can just address that at some point in this recipe.
Yes, definitely, for sure. Okay, so yes, that is a question that it's probably one of the first questions I get anytime I use a soy product is, is it, I have cancer, I have breast cancer in particular.
Yeah.
I've heard that I shouldn't be consuming soy products, and we know now with the research that's out there is that it is safe to consume for anyone at any age. The research is there in terms of consumption. Not only is it not harmful, it can be beneficial. As I mentioned, all the things in terms of good source of protein. It's also been shown to be very beneficial for cardiovascular health. And then in some studies, helping with the prevention of reoccurrence as well. Yes. So don't be afraid.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. And I think the confusion lies with, because it contains phytoestrogens, people get confused with phytoestrogens and estrogens, which don't necessarily act exactly the same in the body. In terms of the chemical buildup of it, they do look similar, but they do different things. Phytoestrogens, a functional food, so they provide benefits. They act more of as a moderator in terms of estrogen. Maybe you could speak a little bit more to that.
So it has a different activity. So they found that it's a weaker action than estrogen. And phyto, P-H-Y-T-O. Whenever you see P-H-Y-T-O, just think plant. It's just a fancy way of saying estrogen in plant form. Or we talked earlier about phytonutrients, nutrients you find in plants. Phytochemicals, chemicals you find in plants. So that's basically all P-H-Y-T-O means.
Love that.
Just quickly, someone was asking what we're preparing. So we are preparing the chocolate tofu mousse from Chef Amy. What I will mention for those at home, if you are tuning in late, all these recipes from Chef Amy's book, we'll post on our website. And if you want more recipes from Chef Amy's book, where can they find the link to?
On Gilda's website, so it's Gilda's Club. Toronto.org. You can go there and then just click on resources, and there'll be like a whole slew of cancer resources.
May I have your attention, please? Code White, Peter Monk, Wing, Nursing Station 1. Code White, Peter Monk, Wing,
Comes in threes.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay. Noted. Good to know.
Reminds us we're in a hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
So Gilda's Club, Toronto.org.
And then you go to resources, and you'll find both the Community Guide to Cancer Nutrition and all of the research and evidence-based advice there, and then the cookbook that coincides with it as well. And it's a free downloadable PDF.
Question on the tofu. So silken tofu I've seen sometimes is a lot more not as solid as what you've got there.
Yeah.
So would that still be okay?
That would still be okay. Yeah, most definitely. Yep, for sure.
So I heard you say soaking food for tofu beans for 2 days. In the refrigerator or outside?
Yeah, in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, definitely keep it in the refrigerator. And you don't have to soak all legumes, so things like red lentils don't need to be soaked. that can be used, just rinsed and used right away. But things like black beans, chickpeas, those ones you'll want to
The dried ones.
Yeah.
Dried.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
2 days is new to me because that's been extended, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you
just
can-
make it softer.
If we're talking about
Yeah.
wanting to fully
Yeah.
help with the reduction of bloating and
Yeah.
gas, and I would do 2 days and then swap out the liquid.
Yeah, change it up.
How many times in the 2 days?
Just once.
Just once?
over. So
Okay.
you would soak them, change out the liquid between the 2 days, new liquid, and then when you go to cook it,
Oh, I see.
new liquid again, or new water.
Yeah, cook
And at that point in time, you can add a little bit of baking soda or a little bit of seaweed, depending on what you make, and that helps to break them.
And that's one of those things, because it's such a long process. Go for a big batch. Make a big batch. Once they're cooked, you can store them.
Yeah.
You can freeze
You
them,
yeah.
and then add to your dishes, and you don't have to go through that process.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great tip.
And they're cheaper if you do it from
So much more affordable
Not
if you do
that-
them from dry. Yeah.
Not that we're opposed to the can, drain and
Yeah.
rinse. They're stocked in our pantry all the time. We use them all the time. But that's just it gives you that option.
Most definitely, and they're also still very affordable as well. And like, if you're not into planning that far ahead, they're
Yes.
a great, easy.
That would be me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn this on real.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Turn
last
on,
question.
yes.
Just since you're talking about beans,
Yeah.
when you're buying canned beans, no salt, or what would be your preference?
I
If
get
you're
I
buying-
get no sodium. I usually will purchase the ones
No-
like
no
low to no.
Oh, to know.
No, low to no. Yeah. I know there's a few brands out there like the blue labels. You can get
No.
like Loblaws. They have. You can
I
get
think Cedar Springs is
oh,
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
And then just standard, just
Yeah.
drain and rinse, just sort of standard, and that also will help with the digestion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
That
definitely.
that soaking water can cause issues.
Exactly. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You just want to blend it. And as needed, you can scrape the sides down. This one's looking okay so far.
It's also telling me that sound that my blender might be.
Oh, yeah.
That's last leg. But it's good to know you can use any old blender. This is not the micro blender.
just for show, I can see it.
Oh no, that's okay.
That's
So new blender?
this blender is.
Oh, bye-bye blender.
Yeah. The last recipe.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
God, it looks amazing already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. And then I'm just going to pour it into it. And then you'll want to let it set for at least an hour in the fridge after this, or overnight too.
So you'll try the set version because that's been chilling
Yeah.
in the fridge. You can see how portable it is now.
Yeah.
Once it sets, you get this like very moussey,
Yeah.
thicker, a little bit of a thicker consistency.
Can't wait! Yay!
Topping
Whatever you want.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Seasonal berries, obviously berries. We want to get colorful berries.
Yeah.
Especially the dark berries. They're really rich in polyphenols. Yeah, polyphenol is a type of antioxidants. Yeah. Yeah. Again, another reason why we eat the rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
And then just however you want to garnish. These might sink a little bit. Oh, they don't. That's great. And then we're gonna add a little bit of seeds on top again for a little extra protein.
And what's nice is you can change this up. You can top with whatever you want.
Mhm.
If you want that smooth consistency,
Yeah.
especially
If you need.
just a smoother mouthfeel.
Might throw some whipped cream on top.
I was
just
gonna say
whipped cream.
There you go.
Like whipped cream.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could use a coconut with cream.
Yeah.
If we're
There
going
we
all
go.
plant-based, they do have them.
Is that what you were gonna do?
Yeah.
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 Let's do a zoom here.
Nice.
When you want to be decorative.
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Healthy.
Yeah, right?
Extra zoom.
Extras,
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chocolate one too.
So good.
Beautiful.
Okay, and there you have it.
That is
3 easy recipes
Way to go.
with cancer nutrition guidelines in mind. Yeah, thank you so much to both of
Amy,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you all for
Yeah.
coming.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the future. And now we're going to taste some of
Yes,
the things.
yes, you get to try it all.
Oh, we had two more
Prepared for you.
questions.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to come again?
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yes, I would love to.
She's in the middle of her PhD. I know her. Yeah. She's very, very. time consuming right now, but the door's always open.
Yeah.
We're gonna trap her in the basement.
Yeah.
That was not a planted question.
Yeah.
And we had a
Any other
question.
questions?
Yeah.
If someone's unable to eat raw tofu, then can we potentially cook the tofu and then blend it? Or will it be very different?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the cooking would affect the digestion of it. Is that the idea? Is that maybe it's not as digestible if it's not cooked? Is that the idea?
The texture.
Texture.
Yeah. Because some people like weren't able to take in raw tofu. But I wanted to.
But if you're blending it.
So I was wondering, because I believe in Korea they have something called a soft tofu for their soft tofu soup.
Yeah.
And that one I believe
It's a lot softer.
It is a lot softer, so I was wondering.
Yeah.
Could we use like even softer ones?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Most definitely you can use even softer ones. Yeah, it doesn't have to.
We have Cheryl from Gilda's Toronto here, so you can ask Cheryl. She has some really cool postcards as well that she's handing out, and then all of the information, all the recipes that we did to date, we'll be posting on our YouTube channel and our website with links to Gilda's, to Chef Amy's cookbook, some of the resources that you talked about. I think those two resources you mentioned are free and available online. So we'll make sure we include all those resources as well. But yes, thank you. Thanks everyone. Thank you.
Oh, we did it! Amazing. Now you get to try everything.
Down,
So
these are
exciting.
great.
So yeah, if you have any questions for me, again, related